next portion, I guess, would you welcome my friend, Mr. Jorge Alvial, as he makes his way to the coffee table. We'll have a little chit chat.
Buenas tardes, buenas tardes.
So he actually doesn't speak English, so I'm going to translate for him. But I don't speak Spanish, so we'll see how this goes. Cool? We're good. Hey, how's it going?
Good, man.
So this is Jorge. This is my friend Jorge.
This is weird with the.
I know.
Yeah.
We have cooties,
Hi.
apparently.
Hi.
No one wants to sit up close
In the middle, yeah.
So if you want to,
Don't spit that far.
you can move. There's like awesome seats up front,
Yeah.
so if you want to move, you can. Or if you want to like play the, it's the band. They're scared of the band. It was the band. Musicians don't shower. Is that
The
the, is
guitar's
that
too
the
nice.
stigma?
Yeah.
Is that the stigma?
I'm blessed.
As you can tell, we love each other around here very much. Very, very family friendly. Thank you guys for moving. All right, so let's start at the beginning. You were born,
I was.
and you're probably born somewhere. So
Yeah.
let's start there. Where were you born?
I was born in Fairfax County Hospital, so that's right outside of Washington, D.C. in Northern Virginia.
All right. Any other DC in the house?
He was born in Fairfax. He was born in Fairfax. No, you weren't. You're lying. But I know he's for real.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, so then this is always fun. What about, have you moved around a lot? I know you have. This is funny because I know him, so I'm asking all these hypothetical questions that I know the answers to. Have you lived in a lot of different places growing up?
No. This is actually my second. I'm just kidding.
It's been a lot. I'm like,
Yeah.
I thought I knew you.
No, from 5th grade to the year I graduated high school, I went to a different school every single year, and then been moving ever since.
International as well, right?
Yeah, spent some time. Both my parents are from Chile, from South America. Yeah,
See, man, I love that we have a church that gets more shout outs for Chile than DC.
right.
That's awesome. That's so cool. I love that.
Yeah, and lived in Jacksonville, Florida. Little 904. Any Duval in the house? No, Duval. Yeah, Duval. And yeah, and then in '03 moved to Hotlanta, aka Swanee.
You guys know it's true, right?
Yeah.
We're out in the burbs, but if anyone out of state asks where we're from, we say Atlanta.
You say Atlanta. That's what you say.
That's what you do.
Yep.
So then I think it was around that time. Well, actually, no. Let's go back to your childhood a little bit more. So, what did you like to do when you were growing up? What were you all about?
Well, grew up a little, I guess, poor. We lived in government housing, so like low-income apartments outside of DC. But that didn't really matter because I didn't know that when I was a kid. So literally when I was born, the picture of like everybody's picture at the hospital in the bassinet, like you know what I'm talking about? Okay, I have that picture, like my first ever picture with a plush soccer ball. Because my dad was a professional soccer player, so that's just kind of what we did. So soccer was the entertainment, morning, afternoon, and night. Yeah.
So this is where are there any like big time soccer fans in here today? This is where I always try to be able to build like relational bridges, and whenever soccer comes up, I just punt and I'm like, I have a friend who's big into soccer, and I tell all of his impressive stories, but I have none myself. But your dad is actually pretty big in the soccer world. He's a recruiter, correct?
Yeah, he's a professional scout, currently for Manchester United. He's been there for 2 years, and before that, he was at Chelsea Football Club for 9 years. So
Right, see? That's why I say this story, right? Because they're like, I just share that, and they're like, oh snap, you know what you're talking about. And I'm like, I don't. My friend Jorge does. So yeah, so so that role, right? He's doing the global recruiting thing.
yeah, so basically the reason he has a job at Manchester United is because when he was at Chelsea, he found, you might know him as Neymar, when he was like 12, and he was like, hey Chelsea, you should take this Brazilian player, and they're like, no, he's too skinny. $200 million later. That's just one of the players. Pastore, if you know soccer, he plays at PSG. Pulisic, he took him to Chelsea, and they were like, no, he's too American. So now he's at Bayern. So all this stuff has been documented over time. So he's really well respected in Europe as a scout, an identifier of talent at very young ages. So that's one of the main reasons he's got recruited to be at Man United, because he actually resigned from Chelsea to come help out the MLS, and he actually helped start a lot of Atlanta United players last year. Carmona, that's from Chile. Martinez, Almiron. If you know soccer, you're like, oh yeah. Everybody else is like,
we made a huge divide in the room.
we did, yeah. I have like two people right here, like, yes,
their minds
yes.
are being blown right now. They're like geeking out to the nines. And other people like, you're just, I don't know. Maybe he is speaking Spanish. I don't know.
Jose Martinez, yeah. So yeah, that's kind of his world. He played pro, started his own business, was very successful, and realized he just didn't enjoy it. Decided to pursue a professional coaching career. Was an assistant for a lot of years, and then someone realized that he had a very good eye for scouting. We moved to Chile, one of our many moves, and he met a guy that was from Holland, and he ended up at Chelsea, and the rest is history.
And so, like growing up, you kind of picked up the family trade, so to say. You played soccer.
I did, yeah. I mean, it's basically all I did growing up. It was my life. We didn't go to church growing up, so there wasn't a lot of. You threw up the pictures already. Oh, you killed the surprise. Anyway, we'll bring them back up. It's fine.
That was slide 22.
Dude, what? Went ahead. Anyway, it's fine. Pretend like you didn't see that. Anyway, I'll give you better descriptions of those pictures. But yeah, growing up, played soccer. It was everything. And at age 15, I was playing in South America at professional teams, youth development, and then we moved back here. Yeah, that's a story for a different day.
So then, let's see, where are we at in the timeline? 03, 04, somewhere around there?
Yeah.
That's where our paths crossed.
05.
05.
Yeah, I moved here 03. Yeah.
05.
You moved here 04.
I moved here 04. Oh, that's right. Now it's all catching up.
Yeah.
There it is. There's a few gap years.
Yeah.
Once you hear the rest of our story, that's going to make total sense. a lot of choices that leave us with bad memories. But in 05, we were both here in Atlanta, down in Decatur, in what you guys would maybe know in Victory as Atlanta Leadership College. Back then it was called Master's Commission, and you went through that program.
Yep.
Which, in case you guys don't know, that's a 9-month discipleship program, intensive program that's done through here through the church. And so that's where I met my wife. That's where I met Jorge. And so we kind of walked through in that season together. And then you were there for 4 years.
4 years, yeah.
Right? So got licensed as a licensed minister of the Assemblies of God.
Yep.
And kind of started off in the youth pastor thing. And so post us being in Atlanta in college together, where did that kind of take you from there?
The summer before my 4th year, I met my incredibly beautiful, super hot wife at a college ministry. Funny. And stop eyeing everybody. You're like, hold on. Yeah. Met her, and we dated that whole year. And instead of staying in the Master's Commission world, we wanted to start a family and start something fresh, something new. Started praying about different ideas. Where do you want us to go? I prayed that prayer that like everyone's afraid to pray, or they pray and then they pretend like they didn't hear from God. And so I prayed it, and God was like, Alaska, and I was like, cool, really cool, like cold cool, like real bad. So while dating Ashley, my wife, I was like, hey, how do you feel about maybe moving to Alaska? She's like, I'm down. I'm like, cool, yeah. You're the one for real. So yeah, ended up my first year in ministry being a part-time youth pastor, which everyone knows that anything about ministry, that's not a real thing. Like you're just getting paid part-time, but you're actually working full-time. Part-time youth pastor in Alaska, in Seward, Alaska, which is 2 hours south of Anchorage. So that's Alaska right there, right? They teach you that when you're in Alaska. It's the peninsula down here that you can't really do without flicking someone up. So
yeah, if he just offended you by his
right.
signs.
Sorry. Too much. Pre-Jesus days. Pre-Jesus
Did you
days.
see that?
Are we recording this?
Those
Oh
are-
man, I'm gonna get
that's
fired.
totally on the camera.
Yeah.
All right, so speaking of which, you work at the church now.
I do, yeah. Not for much longer.
Overseeing the bookstore and cafe.
Yep.
And so, I guess real quickly, how'd you get started in the coffee biz?
Yeah. Also in the bassinet was a plush soccer ball and coffee grinds. I'm just kidding. When I moved back from Alaska, I actually came back to a ministry. Some of you might know it's in Cumming, Georgia, called The Warehouse. The Warehouse, some of y'all know? Cool. Yeah, so The Warehouse actually threw me a giant party before I went to Master's Commission, like a fundraiser. And Scott and Cindy, they funded like almost $2,000 for me to go to Master's my first year. So when I came back from Alaska, I didn't really know what I was doing from there. My wife was pregnant, whole different story. But I went back to The Warehouse and I was like, hey, do you guys need help anywhere? I'd love to serve, and just kind of like, y'all bless me. Like, is there any way I can come and like take some stuff off your plate? And they go, yeah, one of the areas we need help is in the cafe. And I was like, cool. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'll try it. And within 3 months, I actually became the manager of the cafe. There, yeah.
Very cool. Let's see. We talked. You mentioned you have a wife. You got kids. Did we talk about your kids?
I don't think so.
Okay. You got kids.
2 kids.
Yep.
Oh, you got more? Cool. Yeah, 2 kids.
I'll go. I can go. I've got 2 girls. He's got 2 boys.
Yeah.
It's
We've arranged the marriages.
Sealed the deal.
Maybe? Okay. Yeah, I have a 6-year-old and a 3-year-old. If you come normally on a Sunday, it's the really, really good-looking, like blonde kid with the blue eyes. That's my kid. And then, not really. There's one, and he's really good looking. And he's super smart, which is not good. He knows it too. Then the 3-year-old, Jude, he's like a mini me, like for real mini me. But he's good at basketball, baseball, football, soccer, tennis, golf, badminton. I mean, like, whatever sport there is with a ball, like, he's good. Like, he throws the ball better than my 6-year-old, kicks the ball better than my 6-year-old. He's phenomenal. Like, yeah, I want to. He's only 3, though. Like,
He's like low-key the most competitive person I've ever seen. Like,
oh,
yeah.
he's insane.
I'm a little intimidated by him, even though he's up to like my knees. But all right, so let me hit you with this last question, and then we'll kind of throw it to the crowd. What is your most treasured object from your childhood?
Treasured object. It's a toss-up. Anybody ever watch He-Man? He-Man? Masters of the Universe? Yeah. So there was a little ghost called Orko, right? And he wore this really weird hat and he like floated. I mean, I wasn't saved, I didn't know Jesus. That's what I watched. Well, again, being poor, like my grandma bought this like print of Orko and like cut him out and like stuffed him. And that was like my plush Orko. So like, I didn't go anywhere without like my Orko. I don't know where he ended up, probably in the move somewhere, died, or whatever, I don't know. So it's between that and my first ever Nintendo, like the original NES. Like, y'all that have the NES Mini Classic and you're trying to sell it for $150, I'm a little mad because it's only $60 and I want one, so stop trying to make money off of it, all right? Like, yeah. Cool.
Yes.
That's all I got.
Okay, so I'll answer as well. And then here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna answer, and then we're gonna throw it to you guys. So mine would be my Sega Genesis. Christmas, 2nd grade year, got my Sega Genesis the day it came out, and that was actually one of the foundations of our friendship back in college. They gave me an office with like no budget to remake the office, and when I say office, I really mean closet, like literally closet that I had to clean out because it was full of junk. And I got the flooring was those pegboards. You remember those like garage like pegboards where you hang tools? I laid that as the floor because I found some scrap pegboard and that was the floor. And there's an old couch in there from like, I don't know, the 70s. Yeah. And so we just kind of made this retro office, and we had a Sega Genesis on a little like tube TV. And we spent many hours walking to QT, getting, what was it, the chili cheese nachos
Yep.
and their version of the Slurpee.
Yeah.
Poor man's Slurpee.
What is it called?
Is it a Frizoni?
Frizoni?
Icy?
Frizoni. Tioni. I don't know.
It's not registering.
Yeah.
Rich people up here.
And you also had a vinyl collection, and like
Yeah.
All that.
8-track. I had the Rocky soundtrack on
Yeah.
8-track.
Yeah.
That was pretty fantastic.
I still have that CD receiver that you had.
What's it, 8-track? Oh, I don't know. I had to look it up. I didn't know what it was when I saw it either. I'm not that old. All right. So here's what we're going to do. If we were a television show, we would throw in a commercial right here, but we're live. And so we're going to throw it to a live commercial. And so what we're going to do is we're going to throw that last question to you guys. So if you guys have it, you can put it up there. What is your most treasured object from your childhood? And so, like we always do this every single time. We want to be all about community. So find some people maybe you don't know super well, introduce yourself, answer that question, and then we'll have Jorge share the message when we come back.